Hello beautiful Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane and I do readings for the Pisces Collective. Today's readings are going to be about spiritual growth. I've already done yesterday's, which is about the external work and internal work. It's the everyday stuff that we do. If I were to compare it, it would be if you do work on yourself, this would be work that others could see you doing. They could say, that person's really working on themselves. Spiritual growth today is more about working on the internal, your work, your inner spirit, your work with spirit guides. The stuff that goes on in the background that can be known by you or unknown, because this is part of all of your soul's journey and everything that you assigned yourself when you came here. So we're going to be looking at that this week. This week is about breaking trail, starting a new path. Let's see. This is a view from above. You are the divine, your point of why you want to do and which direction you want to go. And the Knight of Pentacles and taking a step slowly to move and shift that energy. We also had the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, which really made me feel like you were trying to switch up the energy. It had two cards and they feel like two sides of the same coin. Which one are you going to pick? Which one are you going to follow? The hard route or the easy route? So, the card for spiritual growth that came out for this week was the Four of Wands, which is a card of celebration. Now, I'm going to be looking at this. I'm going to be using the Soul's Journey and the Nordic Tarot. I don't have the box for it, but it's a magical Nordic Tarot and the Soul's Journey. If you click on the link for my website of how to find this deck, or how to find the decks, I don't know, I'll put it so that it's easy for you to find which link that is. They should be in alphabetical order, so the Soul's Journey should be under the S and the Magical Nordic Tarot under the M. The original Rider-Waite that I use here should be under O. So I would like to also let you know that I have a second channel. It's called High Vibration Inspired Soul Healing, and that has 5-minute videos every Saturday. And it's for anybody, not just Pisces. So if you think that somebody would like to see that, it's not very long, but it's enough to give you a spirit message, something that will, go deep down in your soul, something that will make you think and ponder. And really enjoy doing it. I hope you can join me there. All right, we're going to get to it, Pisces. Four of Wands, card of celebration, a card of great job. You've done so much so far. It's a card of accomplishments and results. Inside of yourself, maybe even in your spiritual growth, you've come very far. You've seen results. You don't probably reward yourself enough for it, but you've done a lot. You should be very grateful to yourself and to your inner journey and everything that you've done for how far you have come. Yes, it isn't the final point, but you should really reflect where you are right now as opposed to where you were and where you want to go. And that's what this card is really trying to tell you, Pisces. It's really telling you, be grateful for every little baby step that you've taken and how far you've come. The four always makes me feel very stable. It feels like a table. You need the four legs for it to be stable. Even if there's nothing on the table, you're starting with a very strong and stable foundation. Okay? No rickety legs for you. Look at these beautiful, long and sturdy wands. So that's what's telling me right now. So let's see. I'm going to take a Soul's Journey card, and we're going to see. Okay, so the card of trust came out. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. I love this because I just finished talking about spiritual growth and how that comes from your inside. And a lot of, I'm hitting what the heck is this? Okay, a lot of inner wisdom and intuition came in this week for you. This looks blue, but it's actually purple. And it is all about trusting your intuition, your inner voice, your inner self, your inner spirit, your inner guide. Okay? All right. I'm going to read before I go on. I want to read this to you. Okay? Okay, it says the earth can be a tricky place. But you have been given a tool to help you navigate through the murky waters, your intuition. You must learn to tell the difference between ego talk and soul talk, right? And then trust your soul. Once you get into the habit of following your intuition, you will come to practice that discernment externally. Right, so from the internal, that spiritual growth will start showing itself outwardly. I like that. You will be able to know if a person or situation is trustworthy, but it all begins with listening to your inner voice. Exercise it like a muscle, and when you determine that it is always right, that wisdom will spread out and influence everything that you do. Decisions will seem easier. Your soul only wants what is best for you, and you must learn to trust it. Very nice. Very, very nice, and so fitting. So fitting, Pisces. You have to excuse me if I sound a little clogged up. I was outside actually shoveling a bunch of snow. And, yeah. If you're a person who shovels, you know it does. It gives you the little runny nose or stuffy nose because you go from inside to outside. So if you see me leave for a second, well, okay. Four of Swords, recuperation. What you're working on this week. The Chariot movement. Yay! I told you were breaking ground. You were moving forward, so. Okay, so this came out, but it kind of, I'll just leave it here. We'll leave that there. And we're going to see what that is. Okay, so this is what you are working on, or what you feel you're working on internally. You're working on recuperation, which is important. You've had first month, a lot of work. A lot of work, Pisces. So much work. You're working on your movement still, your Chariot. You're getting ready to go. We got to go. We got to be going somewhere. The Three of Wands, well, I feel that it's still in suspension. You're trying to bring that back in because it's in a little bit in reverse. I feel that you think that you're probably not moving as fast, so you're trying to put things in motion, okay? You're trying to launch and prepare and get the vision and start traveling, whether it's a literal travel or not. I've been using the Chariot all month this month. Well, I should say last month. We are now the 1st of February, but all month last month to bring in that idea or that image of us getting our Chariot ready, getting things going. And I feel inside of yourself, you feel that you need to recuperate your inner wisdom, your inner guide. You need to fix your Chariot, get the movement going, and you need to get things, in, start seeing where you're going. Bring that energy back in. Yeah. It's not clear though, okay? The one thing I've got to say about all of that is what I feel is that you think you have it, but then sometimes it feels like it escapes you. Like you feel like the meaning is good and you've got it and you understand it, and then suddenly it just kind of goes south on you. So I feel that you feel like you're connected to yourself, but then sometimes you feel like you're not at all. Like it suddenly the meanings, let's say if you're a tarot reader, suddenly all the meanings of the cards, they kind of escape you. You can't make it out. It doesn't matter what you do. You kind of feel it. You feel on the edge of it, like you know what's happening, but then it goes woof and it goes away and you're going, what the heck's going on here? Okay? So, yeah. You're working on it, but I don't feel it's clear. Maybe the recuperation is what you need right now. Or I think maybe you're trying to recuperate so that you can start going again, to have that positive growth. That's what you're working on. So let's see. This is fun, but let's see what your energy thinks that you, what energy you should be focusing on. This is what you're focusing on, and we're going to see what the cards think you should be focusing on. Okay. Okay. So it came out in reverse, and it actually flipped and actually went completely reverse. So the Ace of Wands, it's written new adventure underneath. I feel that they're saying concentrate less on that. Let's see. We had a whole bunch come out. Six of Swords, boundaries. Five of Pentacles, emotional withdrawal, and happiness, the Sun. Okay. Okay, so what you should be focusing on, and I'm going to take those 4 cards, is less about starting the new journey. Because we all, well, it's not, I'm not telling you not to go on your new journey, but it's less on focusing on the thought of it, is what they're telling me, of going, I've got to start. You know, it's like that thing, I should be starting, I should be starting, I should be starting. And it causes you so much stress because you're focusing on I should be, should be, should be. And what they're saying that what you should be focusing on maybe more is how emotionally that's withdrawing you from this experience, how you're taking your heart out of it. That's what I told you. You have like swords coming in from this Aquarian retrograde, the Mercury retrograde. There's a lot of being in your head. This is showing me the happiness, the gratitude, the Four of Wands. Focusing your energy more on your heart, on your happiness, on transitioning, on moving on from this energy right here. Take the stress off is what I hear. Take the stress off yourself of going, well, I should be started, should be started, should be ready, should be going, I should be inspired, I should be beginning right now. I should be beginning, I should be beginning. Okay, instead of should be, just start. Just either start or focus on other things. Focus on the transition. Focus more on what you need, the energy you need to get out of, okay? Again, I mean, this came out, I do believe it came out yesterday again. It's making the decision to move out of that energy, move out of that negative energy, out of the emotional withdrawal, out of that Five of Pentacles that keeps you anxious, that keeps you pent up, isolated, and back into happiness, Pisces, back into happiness and gratitude, okay? That's the energy you should be. So when you start like making yourself anxious, this makes me feel anxious. These two make me feel very anxious, that you're putting so much stress on yourself. Focus on getting out of those. Focus on switching your Nine of Wands, that perseverance and everything is hard, into the Sun and the happiness that you should be feeling inside of yourself. Okay? So that's your positive growth can only be positive if you keep it positive. If you're constantly berating yourself or being hard on yourself or giving yourself a hard time internally, that's what ends up being, that's what you bring forth. That's what you attract to yourself. You don't want to be attracting this. You want to attract happiness, gratitude, gratefulness of how far you've come. Trust yourself, okay? Your voice, it says your inner voice will always guide me correctly, okay? But that's your inner voice, not your mind. You're mistaking both. You're mistaking them for the same thing, and it's not. The inner voice of the mind, that one that's telling you, well, why aren't you moving? Why aren't you getting it going? Why did you not have more progress until now, that's your mind. That's the structure. That's the one that's telling you you should have structure, you should be going forward, you should be moving. By the way, when I did the pre-shuffle, the King of Swords came out, and he has structure, and he came out in reverse while I was doing the pre-shuffling. So this is telling you that. Get away from that structure. Get away from that mind, that mastermind telling you you're wasting time. You're not, okay? Your new adventure will come. This is still the card of new adventure. Just lay off yourself. Don't stress yourself out so much, Pisces, okay? Wow. My poor Pisces, you guys you're giving yourselves you're giving yourself a lot to live up to. And that's what I feel here. I feel you're giving yourself so much to live up to. You're the hardest on yourself. Okay. So what does Spirit want you to pay attention to? So let's get a little bit. Charity, generosity. This is a card that doesn't actually is part of the tarot, the regular tarot. Ten of Wands. That actually came out, it spun in my hand, so let's put it like that. Okay. Six of Wands, success. Nice. So we had the Six of Wands yesterday. Okay. And we're going to put that. Okay. What you don't see, what you're not seeing is under the deck. Okay. So charity and generosity for me, some of you might think, oh, you don't have to be generous and charitable. Yes, to yourself. To yourself. Be generous with yourself. We're often generous with other people. We forgive them. We give them a lot of leeway. We explain to them why they're held up. What I'm getting from them is if this was somebody else going through it, you could probably give them a wonderful piece of advice. You could probably tell them exactly what I'm telling you now. Don't be so hard on yourself. You needed to see what you needed to see. You're so generous, and now they want you to be generous with yourself. Be good to yourself. The blue in the card is explaining to me the air sign. Again, the blue, the air, the King of Swords, that structure, that nitpicker, that one who is living of the mind, who can tell you sometimes that you are, you're not good enough. But that's just the mind. It's not your intuition. You need to tap into your inner voice, not your external voice, which would be your mind. I know it's inside your head, but it's external. You can't let that tool take over, okay? The responsibility, the Ten of Wands in reverse. You have to stop oppressing yourself. I mean, it's kind of obvious, okay? You're feeling a lot of oppression, whether it's up or down. You have to move out of that energy. You burden yourself a lot. You give yourself a lot of responsibility, and it overwhelms you. And they don't want you to have that pressure, okay? They want you to focus on success. Success, success, okay? The 4 and the 6, they're great cards of success. They want you to move from the 4 to the 6. They want you to keep going in that direction. They don't want you to focus so much on the negativity, okay? The defense. The 7 of Wands for me is always about trying to, we're persevering. There's challenges. We're aggressive. We're standing our ground. Stand your ground, but stand your ground against these voices that are taking you down, that are putting so much pressure on you because these voices, as they're saying, this spiritual growth is not happening because you're weighing yourself down so much. You're putting so much pressure on yourself to succeed at this that is causing you you're not breaking ground. And it's very easy to break ground. Okay? Breaking trail or breaking ground, I feel like I'm hearing breaking ground. They're saying take a shovel and dig a hole and you've just broke ground. It was as easy as that. They want you to make it as easy as that for yourself. Take the obstacles of what the mind is putting in your way out of the way so that you can move forward. How do you do that? Look at how far you've come, everything you've learned, what stability you've actually built for yourself. Yes, it's not the end of the road, but half of the fun is in the journey, Pisces. You have to remember that, okay? If you're actually going on a trip, on a new journey, half of the fun, you should be enjoying this. And if you're not, and you're letting the voice dictate every little nitpick you into a corner of misery, you need to take control of that with your intuition. You need to write down, you need to get in touch, you need to meditate, you need to rest, okay? You need to recuperate. And you need to focus on the things that you have accomplished and everything you've done so far. Okay? Stop second guessing yourself. That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one. Stop being so hard on yourself. You've done so well so far. Okay? All right. So this morning is quite different than what I thought it was going to be, because I always think spiritual growth. But spiritual growth is hard sometimes, because it's stuff within you. It's stuff within you. It's all of your energies, and it's trying really hard to break through the exterior. I don't like separating the human body to the spirit body, but we have done that for so long. So sometimes we speak two different languages. I feel that day one is the work you do externally, a little bit of the internal, you mix it up a little bit. And if you're a light worker, you mix it up a lot. But then the spiritual growth is just internal. It's like two very different languages. So that's why I like doing it this way. All right, Pisces, I'm going to come back and do the extended later. If you've enjoyed this, please make sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell to all. And I'm sending you lots of love, light, and blessings as always. Take care.